There are two ways to view the world we are in. We can acknowledge the danger or ignore it. However, no matter how you view it, there's little we can do. You may wonder what will happen next. As new breaking news appears every time you turn the TV on, what we learn daily is no longer breaking news, but broken records. But just because we are numbed by our never-ending political dramas, the nonstop domestic and international problems, and worse by-the-minute economic outlooks, we have to be realistic about the threat we are facing. Our way of life is on the edge of collapsing, unless we can do something about it. Of course, we can bury our heads in the sand, but the only question is how long we can do that. If you don't think our problems are bad enough, don't forget we are now living under the threat of a nuclear cloud. North Korea successfully launched a nuclear missile with the capability to reach the United States. What do you think will happen when two willing to risk all gamblers are on the table? Both are unpredictable, and both must win. A question has been on my mind for a while. It is not if we will suffer a nuclear attack, but what will we do if the United States is attacked? You see, we can try to avoid conflicts and deflate tension, but the button to start a nuclear war with the USA is not in our hands. Should we fight back with nuclear when we are attacked? With an all-out war that can destroy mankind? Or surrender to the mass murderer dictator? Honestly, we don't know which would be worse. So we should best avoid getting to that point, right? But who knows what the future holds? Maybe we should take another look at Nostradamus' Book of Prophecy. After all, he has been right many times. I know you may think both I and Nostradamus are crazy, but before jumping to that conclusion, check this out. In Century 8, Quatrain 92, quote, "For distance from his kingdom sent on a dangerous journey, he will lead a great army and keep it for himself. The king will hold his people captive and hostage. He will plunder the whole country on his return." Okay, I don't mean to bore you. Yes, some people think Nostradamus offers nothing but empty, ambiguous words that can be linked to anything. Well, I can't dispute that, as there are so many misinterpretations out there. But look at that quatrain. How many leaders travel outside the country on dangerous journeys? How many countries can be quoted as having a great army? How many leaders can be called keeping the army for himself? How many leaders can be called hold his people captive and hostage? We know the first line must be about modern days, as leaders in the past seldom travel outside the country, and almost never for them to travel to dangerous places. How many countries in modern days can be called to have a great army? Japan and Germany had great armies, but Japan's leader did not leave Japan. Hitler served in France during World War I and II, visited Poland and Italy briefly, but we can't really call those places dangerous trips, as those were under Nazi control. Plus, nothing major happened after his return. So there are only two superpowers, the United States and Russia, until China's rise to power during the last 20 years. From the free world, you can probably call every communist leader holding his people captive. But do they really fit the bill? None of the leaders before today were an exact match to the description, with the exception of Mao Zedong, who did hold the country hostage for many years and had a great army. But the army was not really that great during Mao Zedong's time, and he only traveled to the Soviet Union twice. Neither trip can be considered dangerous. So we have to find a self-serving leader who uses the country's great military power any way he or she likes. By doing so, he will hold his people captive and hostage. And on the return of his dangerous journey, he will plunder the whole country. Okay, who do you think that leader may be? How about President Trump? Check out CNN's headline on May 18th, 2017, and now CNN's headline on May 19th, 2017. The top political story was, "Besieged at home, Trump sets off for do-or-die foreign trip." Doesn't the editor's choice of words echo the 500-year-old prophecy? Distant kingdom, dangerous journey, right? Now, look at the top story next to it. Trump stakes his presidency on 4 words. No, no. Next question. How does that sound compared with "the king will hold his people captive and hostage"? If this Nostradamus quatrain is really about President Trump, then will he plunder the whole country upon his return? I hope not. But no matter how unpopular he is, if he can take out the one person everyone hates, he will be our hero. Will he take out Kim Jong-un? What if that fails? What kind of consequences then will we face? Of course, this quatrain can be another nonsense prediction that never hits the mark. Even for Nostradamus fans, you can easily apply this quatrain towards a Russian or Chinese president, or even Kim Jong-un himself. But Kim Jong-un never travels outside the country, while China's leaders are not usually considered a global threat. Or even Kim Jong-un himself. But Kim Jong-un never travels outside the country, while China's leaders are not usually considered a global threat. Of course, this quatrain can be another nonsense prediction that never hits the mark. Even for Nostradamus fans, you can easily apply this quatrain towards a Russian or Chinese president. However, Putin has traveled to 50 different countries since his inauguration in 2000. Maybe he is the one on the quatrain. I guess we have to pray every time he travels to dangerous ground. However, although he travels frequently, he hardly visits hot conflict zones. But what did CNN call President Trump's trip? Do or die. Trump's overseas high-wire act. So, should we expect a big surprise on or after President Trump's overseas visit? Of course not, because nothing can really surprise us since we expect something to happen. We will be shocked if there is no breaking news. Do you think there will be more breaking news? Of course. There probably will be no break in the breaking news. However, President Trump is known as the deal maker, and he has achieved many mission impossibles. Maybe this time some great news will be on the airways soon. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.